twisted game is the German playing now? Perhaps he wishes me to dwell ever further upon the inevitable.
Blood of the Dead. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, JC. Welcome back to my channel once again, and welcome to an early access preview of Blood of the Dead, the fan favorite Mob of the Dead, remastered, reimagined actually, in Black Ops 4 Zombies. And just first and foremost, before I get into this video, you guys are probably noticing there's so many different things happening on screen right now. But let me just say, this video would not be possible without Activision and Treyarch. They flew me out to LA last week and I had a very grateful opportunity to play all the zombie maps early and just get a very close preview of these maps before launch, and I'm super thankful for that. And again, it wouldn't even be possible without you guys watching my videos in the first place, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. But I'm only allowed to show you guys 10 minutes, so we're gonna try to make these 10 minutes worth their all. I'm gonna talk about it. It's probably gonna loop in the background as well as we talk about more stuff, but so many things have changed. But again, I just wanna say a huge shout out to Activision and Treyarch for just allowing me to do that. I really cannot appreciate that enough. Okay, Blood of the Dead. You're probably noticing things have changed. The starting room is no more. That starting room that you saw back in the old days of Mob of the Dead, starting in the cell block, hell no, we don't do that anymore. We're starting on the complete other side of the island, okay? This map is probably one of the most expansive maps we've ever gotten in Zombies. Like, this probably, honestly, from my experience of playing it, this seems like one of the biggest maps we've ever received, because it's not only the original map within it, but there's entire new facilities at the start and a little bit towards the back of the map as well. If you guys notice in this gameplay, I'm still nowhere near the familiar areas of the map. There's so much new stuff at the beginning that it actually takes you quite a bit to get to the actual old Mob of the Dead part of the map. I would say the Mob of the Dead part is in the very back of the map, which is super cool. So you're starting out with a bunch of fresh things. As you guys can see on screen, there's a lot to take in, I know, but if you've been playing Zombies forever, you're probably wondering, why are the perks on the bottom of the screen, and why do they look different, and what is going on there, and what's all this stuff on the HUD? Why are the gobblegums over there on the right? Why is there no gobblegum machines? What's going on? And I'm just gonna break it down all for you guys in this video. Right now in the gameplay, you should see me opening up, I believe, one of the recreation or just one of the work rooms. Basically, this is where like they make license plates, the new industries building. And there's just a lot of cool new areas in this map, like I said before. Here's a little bit more gameplay of me looking at one of the perk machines on the map. Yes, they have been completely changed. There is some completely new innovations coming to Zombies, and I'm gonna break it down. Honestly, let's just go ahead and get right into it. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you have 4 perks in Black Ops 4 Zombies at all times. 4 perks, not active, but 4 perks ready to buy at any point. And they're at machines on the map as they normally would be, except you pick what 4 perks you want before the game begins. No more is there going to a machine and that is the stamina machine. No more of that. You pick what perks are in the 4 machines on the map. So there's a cola, a soda, a brew, and a tonic machine on the map. And these are completely different machines than we've ever had before. So all the old perk machines, they're gone, boys. They're gone. And you have perk placements in each of them. And not only that, the big one that I'm sure many of you guys are probably noticing, and also if you're watching the gameplay right here, this is a scripted section of Blood of the Dead, which is super freaking cool. It looks amazing, and I hope that Treyarch does more of this stuff in the future. But my boy Brutus is over there, and he's freaking out. It's a scripted section going to the main area of the map, and it's super cool. But with the whole perk system, a lot of the crutch perks are gone. That means Jug is gone, that means Speed Cola is gone, and that means that Double Tap is gone. Yes, you heard that right. 3 of the original 4 perks that we had in Zombies are absolutely gone. And I 100% get why Treyarch decided to do this. They realized that the perk mechanics in Zombies never varied that much between player to player. Every single time we played any other Zombies offering, we always went for Jug, we always went for Double Tap, and we always went for Speed Cola. And then really the only one that you had variation with, if you weren't in solo getting Quick Revive, was that last perk slot where maybe you'd have Stamina, or maybe you'd have something else. Maybe Deadshot if you really want Deadshot, or maybe, you know, if you want Mule Kick. So basically they got rid of all the crutch perks that you absolutely needed to have. And that means that without Jug, right now, in the base game, it's a 3-hit down. at all times. As far as we know from the gameplay that we've seen, the game is a 3-hit down at all times unless you pull out your specialist weapon, which any character has a specialist weapon now that you choose before the game. And when you use your specialist weapon, you get some armor temporarily, like a little buff to your character, and you can survive a lot more. So Treyarch has essentially made zombies a lot harder, it seems. At least on paper. On paper, it's a lot harder than it seems, like at first glance. Whether or not that's going to be a hurtful thing down the road, I don't know. But we're just gonna have to give them our feedback at launch and just tell them what we think about it. I wouldn't freak out too much yet about the perk system being changed. Give it a chance. When you play the game for yourself, tell me how you guys feel about it. Of course, you guys know this is a community channel, but what I do is I read comments, right? And we're gonna have a ton of discussions, you know, talking about, is this a good change? Is this great for the game? Right now, I'm feeling that perk variation is great. Being able to choose different perks, and we got a whole bunch of new ones, right? We have new ones like Death Perception, where you can see a little bit of the zombies around corners, and it helps you not get trapped as much. We have new ones like Dying Wish. I think it's called Death Wish or Dying Wish or Final Wish. I forget what it's called, but basically once you get last hit, like when you're about to die, you go into a berserk mode that saves you. So it's basically a perk that gives you one last chance when you get that final hit on you from a zombie, and that's really freaking cool. There's a bunch of new ones, a bunch of super cool ones. PhD is back. PhD Slider. There's a whole bunch of perks in here that feel really great and different for zombies, and I think a lot of them have elements of previous perks in them. So like Juggernog has been sort of split into other ways of getting second chances from the zombies, things like that. If you're watching what's happening on screen right now, I was very, very confused at why the tomahawk place is just missing. It's just completely gone, and there's a bunch of lava all over this map. Places that you would never expect have been completely wiped out or changed. And as you can see, there's actually a new transport system on this map, which I'm about to do. And going into it down here, this new transport system takes you to the warden's house, which is very cool. But look at this. Look how freaking cool this is. You literally like travel under hell in Alcatraz. They really went out with the whole hellish landscape, and you travel under hell all around the map to get to point A to point B, and I think there's multiple different locations you can travel to, and I'm in the warden's house right now in the gameplay. It looks super cool, awesome new area, but I like how they added new transport systems. It makes the game, at least for this map, feel a lot better to traverse, because even in Mob of the Dead, it was pretty hard to get around the map unless you're in Afterlife itself. There really wasn't a way to go super fast around the map, but now you have those transport systems that help out because the map is even bigger now. As you can see, this dog location is in a completely different spot than it was in the normal game. If you're a Mob of the Dead fanatic, you'll notice that a lot of the old, I guess, side Easter egg type stuff, a lot of it has been slightly altered or changed, and that makes it really cool because it's a fresh gameplay experience when you go in. It's great to not know every single dog location. Overall, from my gameplay experience on this map, this is like the way zombies is played now, it's just so different, and I've been asking for that for so long. The fact that you have a specialist weapon with every single character, like I was talking about before, the fact that you have a specialist weapon, you really feel like you're the characters. If you want to be the all-out Nikolai you can be, you just put on Nikolai's flamethrower. If you want to be like Takio, if you're seeing in the gameplay coming up very, very shortly, I'm literally destroying using Takio's katana. And every character can use each specialist weapon. You have a katana for Takio, you have a flamethrower for Nikolai, you have the death machine for Dempsey, of course, and then for Richtofen, you got the DG5s, which are basically like another version of the Ragnaroks. There's just a lot to take in, I know, but it's just really cool how you can actually play as a specialized form of these characters. And there's actually funny quotes too if you're using a weapon that isn't related to the character you're playing as. So I was Nikolai in my gameplay, and when I was using Takio's katana, the Path of Sorrows, every time I used it, Nikolai was just amazed at the fact that he could do good with it, or maybe he was just boasting that he could do really well with the weapon, even though it was Takio's weapon. So I like that they did that. There's variation to the game. It makes you feel more alive and into the immersion of the game, and I don't know, I love it. As you can see right here, we got the Blunder Gap back. Just a couple of little sneak peeks at the Blunder Gap. That's all I really want to show you. I don't want to show you too much of the Blunder Gap because I want you to experience it for yourself, but I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Something that we also need to talk about is how the Gobblegum system works now. So they're not Gobblegums anymore. They're called Elixirs. And now when you play Black Ops 4 Zombies, instead of going to a random gobblegum machine and getting one of the 5 that you put on, now you just have 4 on your D-pad at all times and you use them when you want to. There's cooldowns to them and obviously limits to them as well. You can't use all of them at once all the time, but there's also something I gotta let you guys know. In the same way that perks were changed, where there's not as many crutch perks, it's the same for elixirs. There's not as many crutch elixirs. There's some really cool ones. There's one in there that allows you to teleport to where a down teammate is. So if there's somebody in your team who's gone down across the map, you can use this elixir and appear next to him. That's really freaking cool. There's a bunch of new ones and a bunch of cool ones that do different things and a bunch of modifications to the old ones that are still in the game. But a lot of the crutch ones are gone. A lot of the ones that were obviously used way too much by everybody are gone. There's no perkaholic. It's gone. And as me being a guy who's always said that gobblegums are great and they're cool and they're awesome, but I've just never really gotten into them too much. I've never gotten into just popping a perkaholic as soon as my game starts. I'd rather just progress through the game normally. That's pretty cool thing for me. I don't have to worry about having 200 perkaholics in my stash every time we have an E for C or ZWC tournament, guys. Yeah, that was always really annoying. But what else, man? There's so much to take in. There's so much to talk about in terms of zombies. And obviously I'm going to talk about a lot of the new changes as well on the other gameplay previews we're going to do. We're going to do one for 9 and also Voyage of Despair. And I would say there's just so many nifty things put into this. I guess that's a nice word. Nifty things. There's so many nifty things being put into Black Ops 4 Zombies that really make it feel like the next step for Treyarch. We've had so many years. We've had 10 years of the same zombies formula by Treyarch. No huge changes that really changed the game too much. I think the biggest change was maybe going from a 2-hit down to a 3-hit down system in Black Ops 3 and then Gobblegums. But other than that, there hasn't been too much change. There really hasn't. And this is the first time that Treyarch has really said, you know what? We're going to take a risk. We're going to try to do some different things with the perk system. We're going to try to do some different things with the elixir system and try to give players more ways to play than ever before. And I just want to let you guys know that even if some of these changes seem scary, give it a chance. Give it a chance. And at the very least, provide constructive feedback to Treyarch because they're looking for it. One of the biggest things that we were talking to them at the event was, we're not really sure how the community is going to like this. We really don't know how the community is going to like this. It just remains to be seen. I think a lot of people are going to say that Zombies is possibly a little too hard this year. We'll see, but that's just one of my predictions right now. But something I want to let you guys know is that Treyarch has said to us when we were at the event, they told us that they are really committed into updating this game like never before. So if there's something that seems a little weird at first and it doesn't go over that well with the general community down the line, I have a feeling we'll be a-okay. They're going to be committed to updating this mode and making this game the best it can be. For me, being a player who's always talked about wanting innovation in zombies and wanting, you know, really to spawn into zombies and not know what I'm doing for once, it's a breath of fresh air. It really is. Again, obviously I haven't had a huge amount of time with the game, so a lot of my opinions I'm sort of like sitting on because I don't want to say anything yet until I play it a little bit more at launch. But I would say my general impressions, especially with Blood of the Dead, is that the core gameplay here on this map plays really well. There's not too many bosses. There's just Brutus and dogs, and that's it. The map is big with many areas to traverse, many things to do. And again, I can't stress this enough. It is so much fun using specialist weapons as the premise crew, using their designated specialist weapons. Something that I forgot to mention is that each specialist weapon has a level. So you start into the map when you play Blood of the Dead for the first time, and say you're using Takio's Katana. Let's stick with that example. It will start at level 1 at the very beginning of every single match. But then the more you use that specialist weapon throughout the match, the more it levels up and gets better and better abilities. So the katana at first is just swinging. That's all you get. But again, if you saw the gameplay on this video, there was elements of me charging through the zombies. I was being a Genji. I was going through crowds of them going super fast. It's awesome. And that's because I leveled up my specialist weapon mid-game to level 2. So the more you use it, the more things you get for it. And I think this is a really cool feature because I'm a very conservative guy. Like when I play video games, like I just have a hard time using things that I know go away. So many times I won't use my specialist weapon because I don't want to waste it. But now, because of the fact that you have to use it to level it up, it incentivizes you to use it more. And I gotta say, the specialist weapon is probably the third or fourth pillar of the gameplay of zombies now. You gotta use this thing. You got to. Now that zombies is a 3-hit downs and maybe a couple of perks might help you just a tad bit more, you have to use your specialist weapon, especially on that scripted event that I showed you in this video. It's really hard to do it without it, but it's fun. It makes the gameplay fresh. It makes the gameplay progress as well in the long game of every single time you're playing a map. And I don't know, man, like those are my initial thoughts. I really like the gameplay. It feels new, it feels innovative. I like the fact that I can spawn in for once in a zombies map and have no idea what perk I'm going to get. It's great, it's absolutely great. And not to mention, because of these core changes to the game, there's a lot more teamwork aspect involved, and there's probably a bunch of different combinations that you can use together in terms of perks to make a really cool Easter egg hunting team. As for Blood of the Dead itself, you guys already know this map is pretty much everything everyone's asked for. It is expansive, it feels fresh, the areas feel so different at the start and at the end of the map that it almost feels like a completely different map. Like even though there's familiar areas within it, the gameplay being so different and just how this map is formatted from beginning to end, I really like how fresh it feels. I really do. It's definitely one of the gems of Black Ops 4 Zombies for sure. I would say out of the 4 maps that I got to play at Treyarch, this one so far is just gonna be one of my favorites. I know it is. Mob of the Dead was one of my favorite maps of all time, and I love it. I love what they did here. I think the environment's amazing. I think the gameplay is fun, like I've said and stressed so much, and I don't know, I'm excited to see how you guys think about it. So when launch hits and you have a chance to check out this map, come back to this video, leave some comments, or leave comments right now on what your thoughts are of Blood of the Dead so far. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, you'll see your comment in the things people say about Blood of the Dead. We'll see, we'll see. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. I don't want to spoil too much about the map. I will say, maybe go to the rooftop, see how things have changed up there, and have some fun with the map. Have some fun with the differences in Blood of the Dead, and come back, leave your comments down below, or leave your comments right now on your thoughts on everything. And I will see you guys very, very shortly for another map preview of either 9 or Voyage of Despair. I'm gonna leave it a surprise for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel, especially because we're trying to really grind Black Ops 4 super hard on launch. And I'm just excited, man. Be subscribed, be ready for all the content to come, and just be expecting the streams too. The streams are gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be mad. This has been me, JC. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your morning, and I will see you guys for that next map preview coming up very, very shortly. Have a good one, guys.